gentle orca knows this routine well. But this time, something is about to go terribly wrong. Suddenly, the woman is slammed into the water. She's completely at the mercy of the killer whale. A trainer swims over and tries to rescue her. He grabs hold of an axe, but loses his grip when she is tossed aside by the mammoth beast. Annette struggles for air as she's pushed through the water. Another trainer brings in a rescue pole, and Annette reaches for it. But before she's pulled to safety, the creature rams her again, ripping the pole from her hands. Another pole is extended. This time she manages to hold on. The whale bites down on her leg and won't let go. The trainers know that if they pull too hard, her flesh will be shredded by the animal's giant teeth. One of the trainers forces the whale to open its jaws, and the injured woman is pulled to safety. She immediately collapses in shock. Annette is rushed to the hospital, where she receives over 100 stitches to close her wounds. Fortunately, she makes a full recovery.
All right, now imagine that. So what we got going on here is that this spirit that I tell you about is not limited. It can also get into animals and make animals do things to make people pay attention. Now I want you to understand something. You can think that I'm crazy if you want to, but everything I'm going to show you today is going to be a deliberate act of the natural elements, meaning the animals. The animals are a natural element. They are composed of the same element combinants that the human beings are composed of. The only thing that makes them not seen to be a part of us is our egos that make us see ourselves as being so great over them. But you can see how you're not that great over them when you see that killer whale is able to use its massive jaws and the power of itself to just toss that lady around, make everybody, all the humans out there see just how nothing they are, and then hold onto her leg as if to show her, don't think I don't know what I'm doing. If I wanted to, I could bite your leg off right now, but I just want you to understand that when y'all asses walk around in nature, destroying animals and doing all this shit that you do to us, don't think we're not paying attention, and don't think that the day will not come that we all attack your ass back. That's what that is. Hold on, I'll be back. As a matter of fact, I won't go anyway. I'm going to show you what I'm saying is true. Watch this. Here's some more footage to corroborate my story, okay? Because this is two different killer whales, because that one was in captivity, okay? So we know that they're not the same one. Okay, so now I showed you that so many times because I really wanted you to get a good image of it. I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time too, okay? Because I need to, so I could bring it home to everyone, so the message will be really clear that you guys have really built some bad karma for yourself because of your commercialism. See how when you try to do something, you always got to get bombarded with someone wanting to sell something all the time. So because of the greed, all right, of the earth, because of the inability to see that somewhere you should pay homage to the earth and not just take advantage of it, the earth has decided to show you through the other animals and through all the other elements of the earth just how unwelcomed you've made yourself become. And I hate to tell you that, but it's really the truth. I mean, you guys have done some horrible stuff to the ecosystem, and the ecosystem, it lives, and it knows how to defend itself. I keep trying to tell everybody that, and you shouldn't get mad at me. You should understand the necessity for the awareness of this information and see the great job that I am doing by bringing it to you. Marriott Hotel. This is also Ross September on my aunt. Now, you know what's funny? Now, you all know that I claim that the universe is upset with materialism, and that she's going to use everything possible to eradicate it, right? Watch this. Look at this. How's that? Let's take another look at that. You see two dogs attack a car. Now come on now, what is that telling you? Let's take one more look. Two of them. So what I'm saying to you is that Spirit showed you that it was in both of those dogs at the same time and made them do that simultaneously. All right, hold on. Marriott Hotel. Okay, so this boat is called the Intrepid. All right, now this will probably be a good time for me to say to everybody who, you know, I've been sampling a lot of stuff out here that I find on YouTube, and I believe that if people found need to sample anything that I put out there, it'll be 100% right to do because it's already on YouTube. And besides that, most of the stuff that I did outside of my original format in my own bedroom and stuff I use off YouTube, but thus is this segment right here. My thing is, you can see this is a whale that has deliberately went out on his own mission today, because out of all the places that that whale could be out in the ocean, and with the intelligence of whales that's able to navigate all the waterways of this planet, I'm sure that whale knew way in advance that that boat was there, because they use sonar to navigate, and sonar bounces off of things. So that whale knew miles before it got to that boat. And it's such a small boat that for it to jump on this boat like this means that it is deliberately in opposition to this boat being out on the water. Now, my claim to everyone is that the waterways of the planet has been restricted and are not permissible to us land dwellers no more. We need to stay on land, because see, what has been happening is that these Carnival cruise ships has been dumping all their water in the oceans. That's one of the reasons why they are so targeted and attacked by these UFOs and by the animals of nature, because not only do they dump their water from their sewers and their plumbing in the ocean, they also dispose their garbage into the oceans, and I would bet that they even empty and purge their engines of the oil, as well as the Navy vessels purges their nuclear waste and everything in the ocean. So see, the earth is tired pretty much of Europeans. I've told you that before, and I don't say that to be mean, because it's not the average European on the earth that does this, and we all know that. The average European on earth is poor and broke just like everyone else. But the problem is the large number of wealthy people on earth happen to be the European that I'm talking about right now. Like people that's fortunate enough to have these sailboats that we see getting destroyed right now. So my proclamation is that the universe has employed its animals and its elements as well as its people to destroy materialism, and the destruction of materialism will mean destruction of the way of life known to the Europeans, because all this materialism is a part of the existence of, I should say, melanin recessive people, but you call yourselves whites and Europeans, so we'll stick with that. Caucasian, whatever you want, it's fine with me. But your way of life has caused the earth to really be upset with you. And this is why we see the earth recipients having this type of reaction with your presence on it. Because remember, there used to be a whole lot of these things in the ocean and somebody whaled them all away. So I think the fish got a right to, when he see y'all in his little ass boat right here, to show you how unhappy he is that you canned all his relatives and his ancestors. Let's go take another look at that. See? Look at this. The animals are helping nature eradicate materialism. Let's go back a little ways. Watch this. Okay, that's enough of that. I just wanted to show you guys some footage of the earth really showing you its seriousness about trying to retain itself and remain amongst the living. So it's kind of like fighting back, if you will. Mayatotep. You would like this, I think. I found this pretty interesting.
First of all, I just like to add that the Don Branchow incident with Telecom, the killer whale, should have never happened. She shouldn't have been that close to the water. She's not supposed to be in the water. He's 12,000 damn pounds. You can go ahead and do what you're going. She's 12,000 pounds. 12,000 pounds well he is. That's why they're not supposed to swim them in the first place. I don't care how good of friends they was. She had no business being near the water. She turned her back on them and was talking to the people, and the whale attacked. And there's no way to identify when they're in a bad mood. When these situations happen, look, you got him in captivity. He's probably doing 3-4 shows a day. Who knows when he gets a break? Or when he let him give him a day off. We don't know that. And then SeaWorld has the audacity to turn around and open the park right back up and open up the whole show all over again. Like somebody just spilled some milk. This girl's funeral is today, and they've already opened the show. It's sick and disgusting by SeaWorld to go ahead and do that. And then, on top of it, Remember the incident back in '71 when the trainer in training at the time was riding? That happens to be Tillicom's long distance cousin from the Pacific Ocean. And they traced it back through DNA and found out that that well had the same mentality as Tillicom as far as like personality. That was just a joke, but you see what I'm going with. They're making a big thing about it for no reason. But this isn't the first time Tillicom has attacked. Or, well, I won't say Tillicom, I'll say an orca. At the same park. They have these incidents all the time, and people just don't notice them because they're too busy watching, I believe. So, I just wanted to let that. Now, you see this guy swimming for his life. And here comes big old Shamu, take him right under the water. And here come the trainers out the back, try to help him out. And that's SeaWorld. And they finna start splashing on the water with their hands to try to make him come up. Because he's trying to take him down and drown. And look at him. And finally, the two whales came and saved him. That's the only reason that man's life got saved. Because they finally got him up. They killer whales. The first part of their name is killer. There's a movie called Orca the Killer Whale. Because them things turn on you in a heartbeat. Yeah. He's a killer whale, but he's a great performer. And they're going to keep him out there performing for the people. It's sad, but that's the business of life.
Yep, it's a sad thing. See, it's too much. It's too much. How can I say it? It's too much commercializing of the planet. It's way too much. Now I started off to show you people, and I ended up running into animals that's showing you that frustration with the commercialism of the planet also. Here it is, you got these whales in captivity, working them all the time, probably 7 days a week. You know, I mean, trust me on that. We don't know, but we do know people would not be too quick to pay attention to the well-being of something that's making a profit for them, cannot stand up for themselves. They will definitely work you to death. You know, and it was already traumatic to whales being taken from their natural habitat of the ocean and blocked up in captivity into little SeaWorld. That's just a cruel thing by itself. It's the same as taking a person away from having a whole continent to run around putting chains and shackles on them, isolating them to a plantation, and then leaving them as remnants in the country, as undesirables, people without a nation. I'll be back. Hotel. All right, remember, people going crazy. Here's some more.
The sounds of laughter at a neighborhood barbecue interrupted by gunfire. In the shadows at the top left of your screen, you see the person police say is Billy Woodward, walking across his neighbor's yard with a 9mm gun in hand. Seconds later, the first victim was shot, but the deadly rampage had only begun. You see people running for their lives. As more gunshots are fired off, investigators say after Woodward emptied his clip, he reloaded and started shooting again. Then you hear Woodward yell, "I got them all." Followed by the gut-wrenching cries from a mother and the sound of police sirens rushing to the scene. When they get there, they found Robert Couture, Gary Hembry, and also Bruce Blake, all bleeding from multiple gunshot wounds. Bruce Blake was the only victim to survive. He was shot 11 times. Investigators arrested Billy Woodward. This is a clip of his interrogation video. He tells police why he went off.
See, we've been tormented for the last month by these people. And they've been tormenting our parents, making threats against them.
Police say that Woodward and his neighbors had been feuding for several weeks, and he believed the shooting was justified.
just made our life a living hell. My wife, we can't go anywhere without an escort. We can't even let our kids outside.
This is the suspect's home, Billy Woodward. He used to live here. Now the house is empty and for sale. Now he blames his short temper on a brain injury he suffered while serving in Iraq. Now it may be very well up to a jury to look at the video we just showed you to determine his fate. Travell Island, West 2 News.
Like I said, spirit making people do some crazy things. Anytime you get a gun and just blatant in broad daylight go murder people like that, I'd say that you got some issues. I just know that people are under pressure, making them do crazy things. But like I'm saying to you, is the earth pointing out to everybody that she's had it. She's gonna get people moving on out of here. One person going to prison, 2 people dead. You know, like it's always saying before the past, everybody had their negativity, saying what they saying. That's good that it's happening to other people, good niggas killing each other and all that. Now you see white people doing it to each other, which has been the way it's always been. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But my point is that this used to be something that people could easily say was Crips and blood type of stuff and this and that. But with YouTube coming around and showing you that this stuff has been going on amongst Caucasian people for a long time. It's just been hid because the media only wanted to show this type of ugliness belonging to us melanated people, but we all know that's not so. Okay. Hotel. This will speak for itself.
By stealing the lumber truck and circling about the community.
We've been staying in the same general area and he's seen waving to people on the sidewalk.
Incredibly, many pedestrians are not only enjoying the show, they're actually encouraging the performance.
Now there's people in the media and I think one of them just gave him a high five. Unbelievable. This semi continues up the wrong side of the road here. Cars are stopped. But I'm not sure that there's enough room for this guy to get through. There's a traffic jam ahead. One car is trying to back up as the truck gets across the median now.
A cruiser rushes forward with guns aimed at the semi's rear tires. The bullets find their mark. But an unbelievable complication is about to turn this chase into a terrifying display.
It looks like there's smoke coming from the back of the truck.
Sparks from the grinding rims have flown up to the truck's payload, igniting the cords of lumber.
Big plume of smoke now.
Within seconds, the semi turns into a rolling inferno.
And now there's flames. The truck is on fire. This is absolutely unbelievable.
Flames race up the stacks of 2x4s. 6,000 pounds of kindling on the move. The insane heat builds to an explosive level. A burning tire blows loose and rockets down the street like an unguided missile.
Oh, look at that. It's rolling free. It's completely engulfed in flames heading through that parking lot.
The suspect continues his panic parade, as if this is all just part of an act.
This is so dangerous for everybody out on the road right now.
He doesn't realize that his lethal actions are about to reap a lethal response.
You can see a police van pulling up from behind as more pieces fly off that truck.
A white van rushes in behind the fiery fugitive. Inside is a tactical team with orders to use deadly force. As the driver tries to steer his rig across the median, the truck's exposed rims get stuck on the curb. Officers know this may be their only chance.
The van's opening up. Officers are jumping out. They're rushing towards the semi. And that one officer has his gun drawn. I think he's firing.
As bullets tear through the cab, the driver stomps on the gas, panicked and confused.
He's pulling away. They don't know if he was hit or not.
He thought this was all fun and games, but it's become life and death.
Right over the median there, and he jostles that payload.
Desperate to shake the cadre of police on his tail, he suddenly gets a terrifying idea.
Oh, the rubber spilled all over the roadway.
He jerks the semi back and forth, shaking loose the truck's cargo as a blockade. His desperate act bought him some time, enough time to buy himself a lot more trouble.
There's a school bus ahead, and he charges past his rubber falling off.
The dangling lumber strikes the back of a school bus. Inside, a jostled child is injured by the impact. No matter what it takes, police have to end this chase now. before another innocent gets caught in this guy's sights.
Oh, no! Right on the tail of that sedan, he barely slows down in time.
They charge forward for another shot at him, but the driver veers wildly, cutting them off. Police make the call for sharpshooters and helicopters to take action.
There are several police airships closing in nearby. He slows way down here. Officers are holding their position, and it looks like he's coming to a complete stop now.
Police aren't sure what to make of his sudden change of heart, but the suspect has a good reason for stopping. It turns out that the tactical assault had worked. With incredible marksmanship at a full sprint, the officer hit the driver before he could pull away.
Police rush in, he's on the ground, and it looks like they've got him. He's not resisting, suspect being taken into custody.
Whatever ideas this out-of-work trucker had about show business,
One of them just gave him a high five.
his career rapidly went up in smoke.
It's rolling free, completely engulfed in flames.
And instead of improving his resume,
His lumber spilled all over the roadway.
he only built up his rap sheet.
There's a school bus.
His next performance will be for an audience of only 12 in a court of law.
Yeah, SARS court. That bullet probably killed him.
Through his cruiser.
For him to use his truck to ram a police car, I knew that this was going to be some trouble.
The situation has now been elevated to assault with a deadly weapon, and this crazed trucker is on the run into midday traffic.
He cut across all the lanes to go from the on-ramp to the fast lane.
People do the craziest things. And
The
animals.
truck crashes into
Do
a
the
moat,
craziest things,
showing
too.
no regard for innocent drivers.
Trying to keep up with him, trying to avoid other cars on the roadway. A second seems like forever.
Sergeant Daniel Kerr is one of many officers who gets the call and is scared by what he sees on the road ahead.
I was amazed at how well he was able to handle his truck, going in and out of traffic, changing lanes, going on the shoulder. I was concerned that he might run over other people also.
There doesn't appear to be any way to stop this deadly truck, so they call for air support to get a better view of the road.
I could see his trailer almost tipping over a couple of times. I was concerned about him hitting someone else or doing some serious damage to someone or a car or something like that. And that's the other weapon being used.
Then, suddenly, the chief of police from a neighboring town enters the fray, hoping to cut off the truck's path. However, the madman turns his truck on the helpless cruiser.
As he was getting on the on-ramp, the semi abruptly swerved towards him, cutting across several lanes. He was trying to ram him.
The chief swerves to avoid being crushed by the 18-wheeler, and the truck continues its deadly flight. Running out of options, the police try another desperate move as a motorcycle cop attempts to shoot out the 18-wheeler's tires.
There was a Meadows police officer on a motorcycle, and the semi again swerved towards him. The Meadows officer actually dumped his bike on the ground and jumped over the concrete barrier.
The motorcycle officer dodges the truck, but his attempt to end the chase has failed. The officers know they must take out this truck's tires to bring him down. So up ahead, they deploy stop sticks.
It's like putting a straw through a tire. There it leaks out.
But the stop sticks are no match for the power of the semi. With only a few front tires blown, the truck plows ahead.
When the tire goes flat and you continue to drive on it, it starts coming apart.
Pieces of him were flying at you. He was starting to lose a lot of his momentum.
Usually when you start seeing that, most of the time the chase will be ending shortly.
The trucker's path becomes more dangerous as he heads towards a clogged section of the highway. But this gives the police the break they're looking for. Another truck blocks the semi's path. To get away.
I didn't know how we were going to get him stopped.
There was one of the deputies that was next to me. He shot the right front tire out with his pistol.
The 18-wheeler is free again and limping along. Then, to everyone's shock, he picks up speed. The officers take position on the side of the road and shoot into the engine block, hoping to finally halt the semi.
SUV style unit pulled up alongside of him and again shot the tires on the driver's side out.
The police cruisers begin boxing in the semi. officers swarm in, and the chase is finally over.
All the units converge on the cab of the semi, and open the doors, pull them out, get them down on the ground, get restrained. It's just, you're starting to bleed off your adrenaline and just, wow, that really happened.
Come to find out afterwards, he was delivering a load of shoes to a shoe store. He just had the wrong address.
As you can see, he had a good reason to keep running. They really beat his butt, didn't he? See, that's the stuff why people are so upset and doing all the crazy stuff you see people doing, is because of the controllers. They're